We're going to Dragonshire, so it could be another longer game here. This is actually the map pick of Miracle, though.
And they don't really like to rotate that, like big maps.
Yeah, I'm actually
so
curious what their win rate is on this map. We might get a graphic for that once we go in game, but yeah, I'm really curious.
Dragonshire, their 2018 is 0-2. Miracle.
0-2. Okay, yeah, I didn't have high hopes for this team on this map, but they've got a plan, and perhaps
they were up against once against Blossom, once against Tempest.
This man.
Respect one. Also, it opens up Hanzo and Genji in a way.
If Genji is left open, they have to take it. They have to take either, I think. Especially if it's Genji, like if Genji is left open, if it's Hanzo, they have to take it. This is oh, this is weird because like if they take Genji, I don't know. It gets really weird in this case when you're the first picker and you take the throwaway ban if you want a Shimada brother. This is not a throwaway ban. This is actually a respect ban for Judy Scarosh, but oh, this is actually super high level. So
once GLuck played Hanzo, it was not the greatest. So maybe leaving that open after doing your homework. But still, the game timing.
Yeah.
If you let that Hanzo for the other side, it's going to be a tough choice.
You can gray main Uther here if you ban the Genji. I think that's what you're thinking right now. I actually... Oh.
Yes, banning Hanzo, I think it's a better answer. Just leaving that Genji, you can take away Uther. You can always have a solution like that. But Hanzo itself...
Insta-locked.
Oh, still.
Now, Relic, look at him. He just leaned back in his chair. Takes a deep breath. He's hoping we're not going to see the Uther lock-in, but I have bad news for him. It's definitely coming. Definitely coming.
Yeah, that's already locked. I mean, they're just thinking about the other pick.
This is why the Hanzo ban is better, like you say, for Miracle, because if they lock in the Genji, you feel great about it. But
do you go for tanks here because Judy was sniped? Because once Judy sniped double time, then it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, what about just Uther and Uberak?
Yep, solid choice. Or even ETC, or whichever one he wants to play. Muradini played it 4 times the most.
I actually prefer the ETC here because of how good Blue Beetle has been playing ETC tonight. You might as well just kill 2 birds with 1 stone, take that away from him, and also have it for yourself. GLuck will very likely pick it up in next rotation, and it can ruin what you're trying to do with the Uther because of the Cocoon, but I still think the ETC is the better pickup here, just because of Blue Beetle's proficiency on the hero.
Oh, Milky Way.
Sorry, Milky Way. I don't know why I keep saying Blue Beetle.
Because Blue Beetle's... Ooh, actually leaving Uther open. This is a change.
This is a mistake, I feel. This was the good news that
it's
I
also
said was going to be bad
It's also
news.
Because there was a snipe ban onto Judy. I think they're putting Judy really high, as well as they really need Greymane to do the damage. They can't really give Genji and Greymane away. I think that's the line I'm thinking they're trying to do. As support, they do have some choices, you know. As Lucio's basically out with 0 and 10 in Korea, 0% win rate. Lucio's not even banned, not really seen in any of the draft now.
Yeah, I think that's going to change eventually, but at the moment, with the drafts that we have and the counters to Lucio, he's been really underperforming. I was talking to Hong Kong about this earlier. He agrees, but...
There's that Uther.
Okay, so now you've given all kinds of burst damage, mobility, and like sustained Dragon Blade damage to GLuck. You've also given them... Like, you've not taken the counter to Genji. Now, I'm guessing this means that Miracle... Obviously, they knew that Uther coming was pretty... was going to be pretty obvious, and then Jaina coming is not a surprise. I think the idea with this Nubarak pick instead of the Uther is saying, we needed Greymane, or else they're going to take the DPS away, and we're confident that can Cocoon Uther every time.
Yeah,
you have
along
to be
with
confident
the Cocoon,
you can do that.
I think they're thinking next level as the combo. I think they're trying to have Sniper onto the false set this time, having that rotation on this big map. There's that snipe ban onto Li Ming.
And the snipe ban on the ETC as well. They don't have a tank yet, but what we saw from Milky Way, I keep calling Blue Beetle for some reason, Milky Way, was really impressive.
Hey, this draft is actually so much fun.
And the thing is, like, the ETC pairing with the Uther has been kind of the strength for this team. Who've drafted Uther both games now with ETC in first rotation. This is the first time they have first pick. So they drafted a little bit differently. Miracle gonna take the Dahaka Ariel. Interesting. Does that mean we get to see a second support here at the end? Or is it going to be something like an Abathur?
Abathur is open. And they already picked up the Haka for the global. If they're thinking double, that's also possible. But as an extra, maybe they're just thinking about some kind of Tychus after the pick from GLuck's tank. Maybe they're just thinking of Tychus here.
Blaze, Tyrael. So Blaze has been the story of this team's drafting tonight. We've seen some really good plays from Saren and some that left some to be desired, but they've been mostly good. The bunker placement and the initiation we're seeing is really strong. The stuns coming through. Paired with ETC, this time will have to be paired with Tyrael. Zarya will be the secondary support here. Also a very strong pushing hero. So this Zarya pick makes the 4-man insanely strong. So you have a winning matchup in the top lane, Dahaka versus Tyrael.
Yes.
You have the winning 4-man. You're looking to do well in the early game, win the first Dragon Knight, win the laning phase, quote unquote. I like it.
They do
Smart.
Miracle does that provide lots of CC. I think they, as you mentioned, has a strong, one of the strongest siege if they want to push. GLuck does have some poke, but with the shield, because Jaina, when there's a burst damage, the shield will actually become the energy of Zarya in that way. We haven't really thought about Zarya because she has not been popping up at all, but against Jaina, I think it's an okay answer for now, going into draft.
Well,
going into game.
I think I misspoke earlier saying it was going to be a matchup versus Tyrael because it probably will be Blaze in this case, although I always see him as a tank, even though he's not played that way in Korea, like he's played as a soul laner. See, it's going to be Saren on it again, so will be played as the soul lane again. The Tyrael can help against snipers split pushing, obviously with shields in the bot lane. Saren can do better than Tyrael in the matchup against Dahaka, so as I put my brain on right and I screwed my head on correctly, it's not as dominating as I thought it would be. The composition for GLuck is about the team fighting with Genji and Jaina's extra damage. You can see she's not doing the Q build this time because she's got that Genji on her side. There's our stats. You had him up earlier there, GLuck. You beat him to it.
Oh, yes. 0-2 against Blossom and Tempest, as I mentioned before. But GLuck, when they were up against the rotation, a global from the other team, they were having a tough time, lots of time. Kept trying to catch that up in a way. But look at that energy.
Yeah, Sniper's like, thanks for attacking me while I had that shield up. I'm just going to burn these minions down. Heads bot. Jaina's desperately trying to clear this.
Yeah, that's the 4-man that we were talking about.
Yep.
Has CC, the sustain, the shielding.
Yeah. It's cool because this comp also provides a lot of disruption for Genji. Like, Detainment Strike, Aegis can protect targets, Sniper's Shield can protect Sniper's Expulsion Zone. Also very good at protecting against the damage coming out from Genji. Can like also prevent him from getting into where he wants to be to do that damage. It's a grenade build also, which is interesting, but I think smart given that the extra poking shots to kill Genji will be required in some of these fights because he's very mobile.
With Grey Main, I think Miracle slightly has an upper hand onto this game timing and controls. With Dahaka Blaze just with that camp, just changing lane right now. This is kind of an unusual rotation coming out from both teams.
Yeah, this is only because of the Zarya pick. Oh, look at this though, chaining the stuns
CC,
together.
the body block.
This is exactly the one. Sniper doing so much free damage. He's just got a flamethrower on. That's essentially what Zarya's auto attack. Zarya's giant flamethrower. Not even with that much energy in this case. He was doing it at about half energy a second ago, but still does so much damage as he's just getting stacks and stacks and stacks on his Q right now. And they steal this top. Dahaka winning the matchup bottom, looking to actually for a second maybe channel. Looks like it's not going to happen as quickly as they wanted it to, but they win this. They can rotate down. I really want to see Dahaka versus Blaze right now. That's actually, I think, much more important. Dahaka has the minions in bot lane, so maybe they actually are able to make this happen. All the while they're doing so much damage.
Blaze does have the sort of self-sustain with the oil spill and the fire on it.
Yeah, pyrotechnics.
So I think he actually wins that for a second.
Yeah, he wins it, clears the minions. Dahaka just goes mid, but they got a whole wall for this. While Blaze was stuck down there. Almost got a pick too.
Who gets stunned actually? This will be a kill.
This play we saw from so many teams. Ballistics did this in China at the end of 2016. We saw this play out of MVP Black, when it was called MVP Black, of course, at BlizzCon in the Grand Finals against Fnatic. It was on Cursed Hollow then. But this type of Zarya play, which isn't all-in this case, but this type of Zarya pushing, and even with more all-in comps, has been common for a long time. But it's something that teams had to learn how to practice against when Zarya was insta-first banned. This was considered to be unmovable by many teams, and so Zarya was always banned. People scrimmed, people learned. GLuck wasn't around during that time, so this is actually a pretty cool comp to run for Miracle, just saying, I don't think they'll know how to deal with this. And so far, that has been the case. Oh, the triple stun though! Genji with the dash!
With the straight strike, but Judy actually providing all that CC Jaina cannot do as much damage.
HA2 gets a grab too. Will they be able to turn this around? I don't think so. HA2 body blocked out. So finally, GLuck breathes life into series with Sauron's triple stun.
Nice focusing. They realized, I think they found a soft answer against Zarya for now. When her self-shield is gone, that's the time you really gonna go in and focus on Zarya, because once she's alive for a longer time, we'll be providing extra shields all over time.
Yeah.
Need from the burst.
Have a lot of sustaining here. Zarya's coming back now. GLuck needs to back away. Even though they got that kill, not able to control these shrines. In fact, this could be a unleash opportunity. They're just going to use the threat of the Dragon Knight to force Genji to stay mid while they push down this Can Tower. They've done what they just did in the top lane. They've simply reversed it, now doing it in the bottom lane. And again, GLuck is just not experienced at dealing with this, and they don't have a comp that can easily punish. Genji's coming down, but he doesn't have the damage required or the CC required to stop them from retreating, so they simply just back off and walk away. So they're going to take this camp.
They're being
walk away.
A little bit aggressive here as GLuck does spot. But
ooh, I don't know about GLuck actually doing this. Judy's coming in. Look at all the CC. Gunza survives. Daka comes in, as you say, and this makes us a 5v4. GLuck definitely overstepping the bounds here. So much damage coming out from Sniper. Full energy here. He's stunned. Can Relic make a play? No, not good enough. Sauron's coming down. Gets interrupted. This time he's not getting the triple stun. This time it's going to be nearly a full team wipe here on GLuck. This was a mistake to challenge this team in this arena.
I think they were kind of indecisive, and knowing that, because they saw the Haka in mid lane, maybe they were trying to go in as they had the timing available. Blaze was coming down, but not as quickly as the Haka can just rush stuck in, came from the other side. Tyrio actually, because of the change with the shield, they sustained for a long time, but of course with the burst heals from Luther, not enough to sustain against Ariel. Basically that was the deal.
So you're absolutely correct. And, you know, had Blaze been mid, I feel like this would have been more reasonable, but as you say, he was all the way in the top lane. Daka could come in instantly. So, 10's up now for Miracle. They've got this Knight camp pushing. They're going to be able to potentially unleash a Dragon Knight with the pressure coming through from these Siege Giants. Daka is, I mean, look at the top lane. Like, he's teasing Sauron right now.
And with 10.
Looking for the unleash. He might actually get it. Sauron coming up late. This is actually going to be close. I think he's going to get it.
Yeah,
I think they're going to get the Dragon Knight.
Unless the minion hits
easily.
Yep.
Boom.
Timing was off.
Huge push bot and Dragon Knight and 10. What do you do?
Go for the keep for Miracle and GLuck. They just have to just hope for the best and try to get the kill, but there's that Zarya shield available. And the thing is, if it was MVP Black or Ballistics or Tempest, they actually stop damaging when their shield is on. They're used to it. They did it before last year so many times, but from what we see so far, especially from Overlord, he doesn't even stop doing damage onto the shield.
Yeah, this is just a lack of experience against this type of comp. This is an old comp from late 2016, and some of 2017 we saw used every now and then, but this is a 2016 Zarya release comp, and was one of the things we saw in scrims so much at BlizzCon 2016 that Zarya was perma-banned in the tournament. Very low pick rate, high ban rate, and it's just a strategy that if you haven't
they're going
against
for the push. This seems a little bit early with the Dragon Knight. There's the Aegis right
good
now.
Good Aegis, doing so much damage in back away. Expulsion zone here, good too. Milky Way down. Sniper, nearly full energy. Look at the beam, man. It's just on all the time.
They're not even 10. They're looking for that 10, but Tyrio is down. No safety condition available. H82 looking for that core. Down to 32 already.
Good Divine Shield there. 21% on this core. They're hitting it. H82 doing what he can. Zoning out though in the
10%.
south.
Is this going to be
Stun?
enough, just like Fnatic did?
They're just barely going to get it, I think.
1%. Actually, Jaehyun does it at the end. This comes from the side. Wild Ariel appears from the bottom.
Oh, let's be real though. Like, even if they had survived, when Sniper respawned, he could just shield himself and walk towards it like he's riding a horse or something. Like he's jousting, he's headed for the core. This was, I really feel, an old comp that, because GLuck wasn't around as an org back then, never scrimmed against. And sure, they played in open division before BlizzCon, but that was during the off-season when Zarya was released in 2016. And this type of play, where you swap lanes, push down the walls, control the towers, and then run a Dragon Knight, like it's like the oldest trick in the book. And this would never work against MVP Black. This would never work against Ballistics. It probably wouldn't work against Blossom even. But against this lesser experienced team, this is a great strategy. Really good draft. A surprising draft. No one could have expected the Zarya. And they used it well. That was very impressive by Miracle. Great strategy.
GLuck seems they're in shock after that. Like, we lost the game when we hit level 10. Taking out Tyrael before, focusing down because they were about to hit 10. Miracle really had that in their mind. They were really trying to get them off of the core. That was very unlike Miracle play, to say. It was more of a KSP Black kind of move from Korea.
Yeah.
I think it was actually the first time Miracle were that decisive to go into the core.
I feel like we felt like there was like a hint of like the old Miracle that made it to the Gold Club World Championship finals. By the way, they lost that finals to that Zarya strategy. Now they've used it. They've taken it.
That's
they've learned
a nice
it.
story.
Like Ballistics used that strategy with no ranged DPS, only melees and the Zarya on Tomb of the Spider Queen. For those of you who watched the Gold Club World Championship final, know this is like the hardcorest. That tournament didn't get the views it deserved.
2016.
2016.
Not last year.
Not last year. But anyway, that finals, Ballistics won against Miracle. Is Miracle's only finals of their career. Ballistics won with that style, and it's kind of ironic that now it's been adapted and used against this team that's not as experienced against it. What happened to them in that finals now essentially happened to GLuck with a less all-in version, because the Ballistics version was like, this Zarya just like shoots the walls, and what do you do? And then you lose the game.
It was also the basic attack build from what I remember. It was a different build too.
Yeah, it was different. Zarya was like a lot stronger back then, and still similar style, similar way of playing, using Zarya to push. Very difficult to play against. And you made a really good point about Overlord actually putting all the damage and just giving Sniper that energy consistently. You can't do that. It's tough to train your brain to ignore and just not target someone for a few seconds, but you have to do that against Zarya.
As a Jaina, it was really tough. I think he was having the toughest time trying to ignore that shield, not try to just stopping his fingers to not do the damage. And also, they were very out-rotated by Tehaka. As I mentioned before, they really do not know the exact answer how to rotate in and out, as they were kind of outplayed by the 4-man rotation that was strong enough. But with Tehaka joining from the other lane, Blaze was trying to Seron. He was coming around from the wrong side, trying to do some CC, but you have to really know your angle when you're trying to come in, because you're going to be the +1 after the team fight.